Here he is from New York. That Kevin McCullough.
Well, still to come on tonight's One Special Christmas, Christmas Thought from Alistair Begg, one of my favorite Bible teachers in the country. And if you're not used to hearing Bible teaching, that's okay. Tonight he's got a good observation about Christmas, and I think it'll apply. Then a little bit later on, we will also hear from Dan and Shay. We'll close out the night with the carol that we always close out the night with on our special Christmas specials. And coming up next, I'm going to read for you the bedtime story that my children have asked me to read for them since they were very little, by Sally Lloyd Jones, called Song of the Stars. It's a Christmas bedtime story. So if you've got some little ones and you want to give them a little treat, we've got that for you. Coming up next segment. But first, I want to get back to the Christmas goal that we have this year. We fell a little short on our goal of 208 slaves. We're trying to liberate 208 slaves from northern Sudan, where slaves are still being held. At one point in time during the Sudanese Civil War, there were about 185,000. Because of Christian Solidarity International, because of people like you, because of people like me, because of our families, because of the people that we tell about it, over the last 15 years, we've been able to dwindle that number down to about 35,000 that we think are still left. But that means that every year we still have a bunch more to find, and we have to find them first and then to liberate them. And this year we had 208 on our list that we knew existed and that we could go find and we could liberate. We are 17 short as of tonight away from that goal. 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010. Now here's how it works. And I want to say thank you to Irene from Phoenix. I want to say thank you to Andrew from Colorado Springs. Andrew has done something that we've tried to do in the McCullough household, and we're not perfect at it. But over the last few years, we've tried to liberate one slave a month. And this year, Andrew, our friend from Colorado Springs, has generously liberated one slave every month for the last year. So that means 12 people have their liberation this year because Andrew gave that gift. The McCulloughs are going to try to do the same thing in 2025, God willing. We are setting up our budget to be able to do that. Would you join us? Did you know if we had 2 people take the one slave a month challenge, we would liberate more than the 17 that are left? That would be a total of 24. If we had 3 or 4 people take that challenge, and even if you had some financial hardship in the new year and fell off midway through, we'd still more than accomplish that goal. But would you commit to maybe taking that challenge with us and saying, okay, I'll liberate one slave every month? Or maybe you have the financial means to do 12 right now. If there were just 2 of you that could take that challenge and do a 12 slave gift, we would more than meet the goal. In fact, if you could do 10 slaves, if there were 2 people that could do 10 slaves, that would be 20 additional slaves that we liberate, 17 away from clearing all the names off the list that we have. And we need your help. But why are we liberating these slaves? Because these women that were taken during the Sudan Civil War have experienced nothing but the harshest elements of life. They've been repeatedly raped and assaulted by their slave masters. They've been physically beaten. They've been told that they will not be accepted in the slave master's home or culture if they don't mutilate their own genitals and circumcise themselves. They've been told that they're not allowed to have their Christian names, that they have to change their names to Muslim names. They have been told that they are not allowed to pray. They have been told they're not allowed to think for themselves or even speak in some instances unless the slave master asks them a question directly. This is the kind of life these women have lived and endured through for the past 15 years. And here's the really good news, friends. We can get them out. We can bring them back to their home in South Sudan. We can pair them with family and friends who remember them. We can bring them back to the village where they grew up. We can celebrate with them and a local church as they bring them back into their Christian faith and allow them to celebrate and know Jesus this Christmas the way they did when they were children. That's what your gift tonight will make happen. But if we don't reach all 17, I'm going to be exceedingly sad about the few that don't get taken care of. So would there be one or two of you that would say, I'm going to do a big gift right now? I'll take care of 10 slaves. That would be a $2,500 gift. And if 2 people made that challenge, we would clear all the slaves that are on the list. But friends, I don't even need those. If just 17 of you, and I believe that there's probably 17 people listening or watching tonight across the country, across the globe, on 2 television networks, on 300 radio outlets, I am of the belief that there are at least 17 people who could say, tonight, Kevin, in the spirit of Christmas, because it's Christmas and for Christmas, we are going to give a slave a gift that she cannot give herself. And that $250 gift will affect her new life in a dramatic way. First of all, she'll receive a gift that is way more generous than anything she's ever known. Because I told you the last 10, 15 years, she's been beaten, raped, assaulted, verbally abused, physically abused in every way possible. So when somebody gives this gift, what does she get? She gets a year's worth of sorghum grain that's going to keep her fed. She's going to get a year's worth of seed to plant next year's crop of sorghum grain. She's going to receive utensils to cook and clean and fish with. She's going to receive elements that will keep her safe from the weather, the heat in the hot summertime, and the cold in the cold nights. She's going to receive a Bible. She's going to receive medical attention and counseling for the abuse that she's endured. She's going to receive her name back. She's going to be able to tell her story and even have it written down for her. She's going to be able to receive all of this, plus a little she-goat, maybe like one that was in the stable in Bethlehem the night that Jesus was born. Who knows? But a little she-goat that will allow her to have a little bit of commerce and have a little bit of a life that will allow her to make a little bit of money and support herself and her family. And this year, friends, for the second year, only the second year we've been able to, we're able to get some of these slaves' children out with them as well. Usually the slave master has absconded with them and say that they are his kids and he's not going to let them go. But CSI is beginning to have some success in reuniting the parents and the child. So your gift tonight may bring 2 slaves home, may provide a life for 2 slaves if the child is allowed to come. But we need 17 of you. That's all. We don't need any more. We don't need any less. Just 17 of you to say, okay, we'll take care of 1 slave, $250. If you have to break it up 2 months at $125 or 5 months at $50 each, that's fine. But could you take care of 1 tonight? The McCulloughs are going to try to do 1 a month for the next year. We've completed that task this year. Last year we only missed a couple of months, but you know the economy was bad and we had to really watch our budget. But Andrew in Colorado Springs took that challenge. Will you take that challenge? Will you liberate 1 slave a month for the coming year and commit to that tonight when you call 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010, or go to bringherhome.org, bringherhome.org, and you will be able to make that gift there as well. If we have 17 that step up, we'll get all the names off the list tonight and have a Merry Christmas because we gave someone a gift they could not have otherwise. 888-342-1010 or bringherhome.org. Kevin McCullough, One Special Christmas continues next.